What's going on, y'all? So in this video, I want to talk about focus. Now, when we talk about the context of the Enneagram, the type 5 would be considered the most focused type out of them all. So the type 5 is also known as the analyst, which is an investigative thinker, right? So they're considered the most focused type. So 5s are characterized by their intense concentration. They're very curious and they have a desire to understand the world deeply. So they tend to be highly analytical, and they can also focus intensely on their areas of interest, whatever that is for them. And they will find themselves immersing themselves into research and the acquisition of knowledge. So this focus allows them to be experts in their chosen field. And excuse me, y'all. And they approach issues and problems with a very thoughtful mindset. So the one lesson that you can take from the 5 is that ability to focus, right? So when you're trying to accomplish something, it's going to be a lot easier for you to accomplish it if your energy is not scattered, right? So why is our energy scattered, right? There's a bunch of reasons, right? One of the reasons could be because we're looking for a quick fix to a situation, right? So we may lack patience, and we want things to be fixed like now, right? But not realizing that in order for something to be built and to have a solid foundation, that it is going to take time, right? So we may seek these so you may seek these quick fixes, which they're not necessarily bad things, you know what I mean? Because yes, some problems can be fixed, quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like when we think a quick fix, is not always a bad thing. Some things can take months, some things can take years, some things can take 30 days. You know what I'm saying? Some things can happen within a few days, you know what I'm saying? But it's like you can spread your energy out in too many different areas sometimes, and then by not having that focus, you're not moving forward as fast as you could be. You know what I'm saying? So it's best to, like, less is more in this case. And by less, I don't mean doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even though that is a thing too. I was listening to something about trauma yesterday, and he was talking about when it comes to healing trauma, that one of the best things you can actually do is nothing, because sometimes it's always this need to try to fix something or to want to improve something or want to, like, that very desire right there can actually prevent you from healing, because you never actually take the time to sit still long enough to even see what the issue is. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, kind of back to my point, right? So what you don't want to do is you don't want to scatter your energies. You want to focus. Think about it like, if anybody has ever burnt anything with a magnifying glass, meaning you put the magnifying glass over like a leaf or something. This is something I did when I was a kid, because I saw it like on TV, but I was like, oh, let me see if that works. Took the magnifying glass. It was a nice sunny day. Let the magnifying glass let the sun go through the magnifying glass to burn a leaf, right? But you have to adjust the magnifying glass so that the light becomes basically very pointed, very sharp. It condenses. I'm not sure if that's the right term, condense, but that's what I'm thinking of. It condenses into its smallest point, and then you're able to burn a hole right through that leaf, right? But if the magnifying glass is too close, I think that's even something else. If you're looking too close at something, if the magnifying glass is too close, the light is too far spread, and it can't concentrate enough to burn a hole through this thing. So look at your energy like that the same way. If your energy is concentrated, you can move a lot faster than if your energy is spread out, right? Another thing could be fear. It could be fear that, hey, a fear of losing out, right? So you may have all these projects going on, right? And you're afraid to release some of them because you're afraid you're going to miss out on some money. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, though, like, where would you rather receive from? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you want it to be the main thing or all of these side things? You know what I'm saying? Like, where would you rather that come from? Because it can come from whatever you put your energy into. That's the thing. Like, the fear is coming from thinking that, oh, I'm missing out because maybe this one thing is moving a little bit slower than the other thing. Like, the other things actually might be making you money now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even necessarily saying to do away with all of your projects, but the focus can move things faster, is what I'm saying. And that it's almost like a true focus would be, I think about another parable, right? That's in the Bible, and it talks about, it's the fisherman. And basically it talks about how the fisherman, I think this might actually be in the Gospel of Thomas, actually. I don't know if this one's in the Bible. It might be in the Gospel of Thomas, but it might be in there too. But it's about it's a parable about the fisherman. And the fisherman, how he caught a bunch of little fish, but he saw a big fish, right? So he threw away all the little fish for the big fish. So I think this has to do with focus, right? You can focus on all these little things, which are great. They're all fish. Or you could just go for the one big fish. Way less, it takes the same amount of energy to get this big fish than to spread it out and have all these little fish. And then the big fish, you're working more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Instead of me, and now, I guess it all depends on what you're doing too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you have to spread things out, it's probably easier with multiple things. But all I'm saying is, try this, right? Release that fear of missing out. Like, try it. Release that fear of missing out on these smaller gains for the big gain of what you really want. You know what I'm saying? Like, release that fear. Let those smaller projects, let them go for now. They're not going anywhere. They still going to generate you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to do what they're going to do on their own. But let's experiment. You know what I'm saying? That's me. That's what I do. A lot of what I do is experimentation. Let's see if this works. Let's see if that works. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lot easier, even with that, focusing on one experiment than it is to be focusing on many. You know what I mean? Like, see one experiment all the way through with all that you have, all the energy that you have. And then, maybe once that thing gets rolling, then maybe go ahead and check out another experiment. Right? So, first thing we talked about is concentrating your energy, things moving faster. Second thing, that fear of losing out. Like, let go of that fear of losing out. You're not losing out on anything, yo. Like, I really want you to let that go. You're not losing out. You're not missing out. You know what I mean? On anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's an abundance of whatever it is around you. You just gotta, it's just a shift in mindset. If you think that there's an abundance of something, there will be. If you think that there is lack, then it will be. You know what I mean? Like, it's what you think it is. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to think, is there anything else I want to add to this focus thing? It was really just that, really mainly that fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that go. Let that fear of missing out go, and go ahead and put all your energy into one thing. Master that. You know what I'm saying? And then and then, go ahead and maybe pick up another thing. But it's like, even at the end of the day, can you truly say you gave all you got, you know what I'm saying, to whatever it is that you're trying to do, if your energies were scattered? Can you really say that to yourself? You know what I'm saying? And think of the possibilities. The possibility, right now, this is a hypothesis. If you put all your energy, time, and effort into one thing, truly, you know what I mean? And then I think it's, let's add this, that shiny object syndrome. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, look at this opportunity. Look at that opportunity. Man, the opportunities is everywhere. And one thing I noticed is that the more focused you get on something, it's almost like the more opportunities pop up for you to get distracted. It's interesting. It's interesting. The more you focus, the more distractions come up. It's almost like you gotta take the weeds with the growth. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna grow up together, and that's just a part. It's just a part of it. So yeah, go ahead, run that hypothesis through let's run some tests, and let's see if this is true, or let's see if it's not. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Do you think is better to focus on one thing all the way through to completion, or do you think, it's good to focus on many things? I also think that this is dependent on you too. Like, I know people who can manage many things at once. Like, they're very good at managing many things at once. Like, they're good at it. Like, because you be looking at it like, man, like, I don't know how they doing it, but they doing it. Like, they're able to, for their minds to stay on top of everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I'll tell you the truth, I don't know what goes on in their mind. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I've seen it done. So I'm not even sitting here saying that, like, it can't be done. You can't. I'm not saying that. I'm just talking to you watching this video now. You know what I'm saying? You might feel like, hey, my energies are too scattered. I need to pull things in. I need to focus on one thing. I need to let go of that fear of missing out. You know what I'm saying? So I can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. So that's a lesson that we can learn from the number 5, the analysts. They are masters of focus. Their ability to focus and hone in on something sometimes can come to their detriment. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by that is they can be so focused, man. These people might not. They'll do everything and anything to eliminate as much distractions as possible, but they'll even consider, like, washing up a distraction, eating a distraction, going to the bath. Like that's the extent that they'll take it to, like when they start going on that path of disintegration. You know what I'm saying? But a healthy five is focused, man. I mean, locked in. You know what I'm saying? Like the investigator, the analyst, they about to break this thing down to its smallest molecule and then build it back up. Like that's your 5. You know what I'm saying? So this is a lesson we can all learn from the number 5. If this resonates with you, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below.